Originally, it was my intent to stream yesterday because I was home alone and thus could be as loud as I would like, but we don't have that luxury today. But instead, something interesting happened where the day where you can stream without any of the like interruptions, there's nothing really to talk about. But then the day where there is stuff to talk about, you can't do it. It's always stuff is always ironic like that. Um, so I've mentioned before I despise Discord. I think it's probably the worst social media site by a country mile, with maybe Twitter being only slightly behind. Um, it's just a really it's a website that's filled a lot of people who do things that I don't really see on other sites. Like they act in ways that are almost only enabled through Discord. Like for example, Discord's the only website where that I've seen where people can just be sitting in a call together with maybe some random people, but still people that are actually trying to talk to them nonetheless. And then somebody comes in playing the banjo or some other noise to purposely disrupt and mess up the conversation that those people are having. Just rude stuff like that. You don't see that on here or other side, and you do get your variations. Like you could, I'm sure, make a parallel between what a lot of people do when they come to a stream and start writing weird stuff, but it still isn't as effective because you don't have to hear it. Like you have the option to just ignore what somebody types a lot easier than drowning out the noise. So again, I establish all that to say that this is a site that is not good. It has some positives to it, which is why people use it, but it still is one that I only use because a lot of people I've interacted with use it. I'm waiting for people to come in, but I guess we're not going to have that happen. So, or maybe they can just watch it later. I just hate it when you're giving the monologue and then you're like halfway through and somebody's like, what happened? Because they're like reacting to the title. Just it's one of my pet peeves with this site and the people that operate on it. They act like because I've seen some streams that people have put up where you can't replay it. Like they have it to where it's set at when it's live. Um, so for streams like that, I can understand where someone wants an elaboration because they can't go and watch it themselves. But a lot of people will have a stream where it's only been, it plays for a few minutes. They missed the first few minutes. Please restate what you already said. It's like, I'm good. So I'm in this one server, and there's a lady that gets into conflicts with all types of people. Um, they do something that we talked about on here before, which is this like victim mentality that a lot of chicks have. Just oh, this person was saying this type of stuff to me, and I'm so offended, and all the rest. And they've even gotten into arguments with people who were defending them, ironically enough. So I have not purposely stayed away from them, but they're not really, from what I've seen online, that much. So it's just kind of a thing of you don't happen to cross paths with this person that often. So I'm in this VC with them and like two other people, one of which is, I guess, what's that term they use for when someone is in something but they're not actually there, AFK or whatever? I guess that's the term you could use to describe this person. Um, Now the server I'm in doesn't let people stream. So if you want to play something or whether it's a game or a movie, whatever, we have to get like the radio version. So I say, hey, if you want to play stuff, we can take this into a group DM because if you do a DM call, you can stream stuff to people. So both of the people with these two chicks, the one that's insane and then this normal one, we go into a group call and the one that's insane starts like playing different stuff and we're reacting to it. It's like different little videos on stuff I would never watch myself because I don't really find it that appealing. But if somebody else wants to watch it and for the sake of having a conversation or just I guess interacting with people, I just put up with it. It's not killing me to see it. It's just stuff I would never check out myself. um so this goes on for about maybe an hour and it's going pretty decently. You've got three people me and these two, chicks, they're having like a somewhat decent dialogue, and then also watching this different stuff that one of them keeps playing. I'm posting some memes. It's all right. So at one point, the normal chick, the one that doesn't act like she has lost her mind, mentions that she's currently moving stuff, right? Like in her room, so she's not going to be able to say as many things because she's doing something else. And as a courtesy, she's telling this insane woman, I can't I can't be at my computer right now because I'm moving stuff around. And that's why she has her mic muted, all the rest of that stuff. She explains it. She tells her up front, if I don't say anything for a while, it's because I'm doing other stuff. So um, this insane person starts playing some music, and I don't say anything because I always assume if someone's playing a song, they want to listen to it. Like if I was playing a song, I wouldn't. Maybe I would be okay with someone singing. Like singing the lyrics as well. But I'm probably playing it because I want to hear it. So I don't say anything. Again, I was saying stuff when they're playing the videos, like reacting to it, but I don't say anything when they're playing the song. And then they asked the other person, the crazy woman asked the one that's not insane, hey, where are you? And she explains, oh, I'm moving stuff like I told you earlier. She's like, okay, well, since you're not saying anything and I have Justin muted, I'm going, and then hangs up on both of us. And then we discover together that she has unfriended us as well. And also, I should clarify, this same insane person sent both of us a friend request before this, so like sought us out to have this, you know, 3-person call with. So the same individual who initiated this is now the one who's ending it abruptly because people aren't saying anything, even though I don't know why anyone would play music and then want somebody to talk over it. And then it's like, think of how insane this is. When you mute someone, it's to where even if they say something, you can't hear it. So if you've muted me and I theoretically was saying things, you couldn't even hear me anyway. And I guess what drives me crazy is that, and I'm not, and listen, I'm not someone who defends chicks at all, right? Like just defends them for the sake of defending them. Like the other one really went out of her way to say, look, I want to have this conversation, but I have something else I'm doing. I will come back here and there, but be mindful that I'm also busy. And just, like still gets this really bizarre punishment for, you know, being transparent about the fact that she had other things she was doing. No, that website is just, it is populated, permeated, and fueled by mentally ill people. I think if someone gets upset that they're in a call with 2 other people and the 2 other people aren't saying anything while they're playing music, and like gets so upset that they leave the call and unfriend both of those people after being the one who sent them friend requests, I think something's wrong with the person like that. It was really insane that that happened because it's like it goes back to that thing I was talking about of how you always can never quite lower your guard, as in there are those times where you think, oh, this is going pretty decently, I'm having an enjoyable conversation, nobody's acting nuts, and then all of a sudden there's this complete 360 turn. Like if you told me a few minutes before that happened that she was going to do that, I would have said you were joking because there just didn't seem to be any, like it was such a quick burst of rage. It was like, what the heck? But let me go back to what I said. What was that, 2 Saturdays ago? That like every time you speak to some new person, it's like there's a window, right? And you start opening it. You think, okay, maybe this time will be different, and then you open it just a little bit, and right there, it always comes back to bite you and make you regret even attempting to be nice, or what's a way of saying it, outgoing, I suppose. I thought that was hilarious. That's pretty much the most major story out of the 2 of these. The other one is that the guy that unfriended me and then friended me back in like 30 minutes. decided to, and I've seen other people do this as well, so it's not really a crazy thing, but I probably will never, unless my power goes out and my Wi-Fi is also not working, just completely get off the internet. And the reason for that is because there are people on here that I speak to that have no other way of communicating with me. So it's more of a thing of, it's not really like, oh, I can never walk away from this. Because I had plenty of days where my entire online use was like putting up a video, which takes less than maybe 10 minutes on average, and then just looking at the news. Like there was no interacting with anybody. So it's something that's been proven that I can do, but I don't do it because there are people who want to speak to me, which is why it's all the more bizarre, right? When you have someone who claims, "Oh yeah, I really enjoy talking to you. You're such a friend. That's why I'm gonna make it to where you can't say anything to me for multiple days, if not weeks, depending on when I decide to come back." I just always thought that was so goofy. Like when you tell somebody that they mean so much to you, and then you make it to where they can't talk to you by virtue of you like just completely shutting off their only means of communication. With regard to interacting with you, I think it's really goofy, and it kind of goes back to I guess the short sightedness of people. Where I'm sure if you get him in a conversation, say, well, I was just taking a break. I didn't mean for it. It's like, yeah, but if you make it to where the people that you claim to like can't speak to you, they get the same punishment as the people that upset you enough to drive you off the internet for days or weeks. I mean, whatever. This is the same person that unfriended me and then sent me another friend request in less than an hour. So I'm not too surprised that the logic isn't all the way there. Yeah, I was hoping to put up the new romance video today, but I don't think I'll be able to fit because I'm not going to be home for like most of today. So it really sucks. And again, the video really is just me kind of like laughing at some of the comments that were written and explaining how there are a lot of things like it really does seem like we're actually getting to the stormtrooper era because in the video I take this one guy's comment from back in March that I didn't get rid of because I thought it was so insane that my whole chat should be allowed to laugh at it. And I take the comment that guy wrote that was like a whole paragraph long, and I compare them and contrast them and say, isn't it kind of scary that these comments were apparently written by two different people, but they have all these things in common. Like I give objective reasons to believe that these people are literally all the same. Like it's always that person that doesn't watch your stuff, that's never commented before, that for you has some crazy crap to write for. It's really kind of disturbing because it goes back to this idea of people who don't care about you, which has been objectively proven by them not watching your stuff and commenting to show that they had, want you to care so much about what they have to say about you. Clone Wars. That's what they act like. And you know what? We had this. I had this saying that like when they give the advice, it's all homogenized. You remember when we had the clowns who were talking about, oh, go to the gym, oh, become a millionaire. It's like it would be literally impossible for every man to become rich. So it's like you're asking people to do these extraordinary things, but it's not even just that one person. You're asking like loads of guys to do that, and when you make it even more like insane, like it's something that literally cannot be done. Just like when they were saying have status, it's like, yeah, most people aren't famous. I tell you, they never consider the fallacy of the stuff they say. They just write stuff on it, and try to see what sticks. Now, James, if I make you a mod again, are you going to go and reboot your channel like Sony Pictures does the Spider-Man franchise every 5 to 10 years? because that was very disappointing. One of my longest running mods decided to demod himself by destroying his channel, by blowing it up, by pressing the self-destruct button on YouTube. So let me know if you intend to do that again. Yesterday on Discord, there were some guys making fun of a guy about his weight, but they never showed their face. Well, we talked about that before. The main people who talk trash about the way, especially if it's another man, are usually, guys that are too scared to show what they actually look like. I was in a server where this guy was calling a lady a fat c word, like not crap. The other one, I don't like saying it. I just don't say it, and I'm also worried about getting demonetized if I say it. But they called her that, and it's like you're gonna attack her over the way she looks, as you're such a coward that you hide your face. I don't know. Part of me almost thought it was refreshing because all I ever see are men talking trash about the way other men look. So at least it's finally a man talking about the way a woman looks. I suppose like even though it's really screwed up and it's bad, it's like at least they're finally acting straight again. Now you're gonna reboot your channel again. You're gonna call yourself James Unlimited or just James or the life and times of James or something. We're waiting for the next reboot. Hey, remember how James Bond's been played by like 5 or 6 different people? You're you're gonna have 5 or 6 different channels. Oh my god. I was annoyed hearing them because they said they work out, but never showed any proof of it. Dude, you remember the guy that said do 500 push-ups a day? The picture that he had was of like up here. Wouldn't you think if you were doing 500 push-ups a day and running 3 miles a week, you would actually like show how you look? Like you would be so proud of your appearance that you would want the world to see. You would say, "Hey, look at the fruits of thy labor." But you wouldn't show it if you don't have it. Oh my god. I told you they don't even think, they type whatever, and I told you there's a very strong correlation between these comments where people are like putting you down over the way you look and then them not showing their face or proof that they've actually done the stuff they want you to do. I like James, if you can call me like say I'm joking, but out of the what has it been 5 years of just romance content and people like commenting on it, there has never been a single guy that comments on it that proved they had a girlfriend or did any of the stuff they tell you to do. It's always some guy that either if they show their face, it's just a profile picture which they could have stolen from somebody, or someone that hides their face altogether. No proof ever on their part. The only ones that show proof are me. I'm gonna send Envoy a friend request on Discord and then unfriend him in like 2 hours later. After he won't talk over the loud song I'm playing. I like how after she left, me and the other person were talking, and like the other one was like she admitted she just expects people to do this because she knows that there's something wrong with people on that website. So I've been unfriended 3 times in the last 2 weeks, and out of those 3 times I've been unfriended, all 3 of them were from people who sought me out, as in they sent me a friend request. Because I already mentioned I don't even like talking to people that much anyway because they do stuff like this. Um, Two of them caught me. Actually, I take it back. All three of them caught me completely off guard because the first one was a guy that not even half a week ago called me his friend. So that's how a friend is rewarded, being unfriended abruptly. The second one was from abroad that got so like demanded that I accept her request to where she went to someone that she knew I spoke to, was like, I sent Justin an invite. Why hasn't he accepted it yet? And then, out of nowhere, she blocks and unfriends me, which is whatever. Just something is wrong with these damn people. And then the third one was the clown from last night, where you're listening to their trash, and then they get mad that you won't say anything, even though they would be just as upset if you did say anything, because then you'd be interrupting the stuff they're playing. So either way, you just can't win. I just felt so bad for that other person. Like they did nothing wrong. They were like, okay, I'm gonna be moving this stuff, so I won't be able to speak that much or as much as this other person theoretically will, and then got unfriended too. Three people unfriended me in less than 2 weeks, and it was always by someone that sought me out. Because I don't just go around sending people friend requests like, "Hey, can you accept my?" No. Otherwise, they would have been roasted super hard. Oh, they would just want the right to judge you without you judging them. Well, I mean, in the video, we're doing a lot of judging. I'm talking about how why is it that every time we get these antagonistic comments, it's always from someone who you've never seen before, who, if they're subscribed to, they've never commented before. It's like that. I've seen that pattern, like those parallels in these guys that write this weird stuff, at least 3 or 4 times this year, and it's like, what? Why don't you just go away? There was this one video I did. It was a political one, and it was like, I guess, Biden talking about the vaccine or something, and like this guy leaves a comment that, I kid you not, is like this big, like from where my hand is down on the floor to like all the way up here, like it's enormous. And I scanned through the first part of it and then the bottom part of it, and I'm like, I'm getting rid of this. Not because it's cursing me out, not because it's like rude, but he left this, yeah, a novel's worth of stuff to me that doesn't address anything I said in my video. That for all I know, he could be spamming across the entire site of YouTube. Because remember, YouTube doesn't let you know like what comments people leave on other videos, or if they do at all, unless you just by happenstance find that same person somewhere. So yeah, I got rid of it. But again, I can't wait to be told I'm denying him his free speech as he writes a. And the other thing is that, like, this is another person who doesn't care about my channel, because guess how many times I've seen him since that happened? Not once. So I don't think he's too upset about getting his novel yanked. He probably posted it like in 20 other places too. That reminds me of those old chain letters where it's like, you have 2 weeks to repost this, or else you're gonna find out that this person you love has now lost an arm. Or remember that chain mail? No, you'd probably be called. Well, yeah, I don't even know if they would say that, but again, why should I care if the people calling me these bad things already didn't like me to begin with? That's like McDonald's, having some like scandal where you open up their food and there's a rat in there, and then Peter's like, "We need to shut down McDonald's. We told you that them making all this food from animals was bad." It's like, yeah, why should McDonald's care about what Peter thinks? They've hated them since they started. This is just another chapter of the long going arch nemesis era. Like, you need to change your content so that a person who doesn't like you, who doesn't care about you, because they if they would write comments, will now maybe be tempted to watch you. Yeah, I'll get right to doing that. Oh, somebody called me, but it was a random spam risk number, so I'm not going to bother with it. Yeah, I also got accused of flirting with a mod, so that was also kind of interesting. I didn't get accused by like anyone that actually has any authority, just this one guy. Because he was mad that I messaged the mod that got rid of him 6 times in one day, like as a joke. I was like, "Hey, this one person told me that you're very interesting to speak to, and we do it, and we would love to talk to you." And again, I thought it was a joke because most mods will come in the VC anyway, and then by my shock, she appeared. So and weak for not responding to him. I mean, they already accept that I don't talk to them on videos. That's why they crash streams now. Like when I did streams, or started doing them like 3-4 years ago, like almost I can think of maybe 2 times someone came on there trying to do what they do now. It was very rare to even get these people on those. Because again, I used to respond to them in comments, but now, and I mentioned before, one of the reasons I stopped responding to comments is because a lot of times when you write stuff back to someone, they don't address everything you said, or they like respond back by saying, "I only read part of this." So I'm like, you know what? If you want to leave your little paragraph or whatever, that's fine. We're gonna take it and we're gonna laugh at it on my stream. So we can respond to you in front of a whole group of people and embarrass you. And whether you yourself see it or not doesn't matter, because you're nothing. You're entertainment. That's what you are. Call me toxic. We know Brandon's very toxic. He was over there saying he couldn't wait for me to retire. Now, what did he write? He said, I am waiting for him to retire." I was very heartbroken to have read that. That's going to be my top 10 betrayals video. Let me close this. Oh, weak for not responding to him. There are plenty of people who get, I guess, attacked and they don't respond to it. They just let them talk to themselves. Like, there are a whole bunch of politicians that people make videos about every day on here, and they never respond to any of the videos. Like, you don't see me calling Mansion weak, for not responding to me after I made like what 30 videos on him. Hell, I'm doing a video on him tomorrow. It's about how he was going to supposedly leave the Democrats in a 2-step plan, where first he announces that he's not going to be part like a committee chairman for the DNC. Then he's going to say he's an independent. So it's best not to respond to stupid comments anyway. Well, that's why I don't do. I have not responded to a single one of these people that's written a comment to me on my channel in 2 years. Like it's over. That's why they have to come to streams and write weird stuff to try and get my attention. You saw the one guy crying about. He's like, "Do you wear anything else?" It's like, man, imagine like your biggest criticism of somebody is you're not content with their dressing sense. like I'm running a fashion show. And then even with saying that and talking about you need to change, you remember James, that person showed up on like 3 more streams after that, all the way up until I got rid of him, which I only did because he started trying to say that he didn't say what he said. Someone insulted what you wear. Oh my god! And I was like, yeah, goodbye. His final appearance was a cameo because he showed up on that stream and got yanked in like 5 minutes. Again, I can put up with a lot of stuff people do on here, but when you start trying to retcon real life and say, "Oh, this thing that I said actually did not occur," even though we have proof that you said this, yeah, I'm good. That's gonna be another thing in the video. Like, I want to make a whole like romance timeline of like the it's like 2017, and mention how that one dingbat, that Crossdale clown that showed up on on Saturday SmackDown 1 and 2 actually said, "You don't approach women. You expect them to do all the initial work." So she just completely retconned out the like 7 years of me trying to start stuff with these insane bastards. I tell you that they turned real life into a comic book. And after I get through with this script from today and put the video up, hopefully tomorrow, I'll get around to the other one, the romantic rejection comic book, plot twist, red herring, status quo, retcons, crossovers. You know, just all that stuff. You know, you actually do have some insane chicks that will like ask you to forget what they said before. Like they'll be like, "Oh, don't mention this thing I did to you 2 weeks ago. I'm different." You know, she had such an amazing character arc over these last few days, and then they do the exact same thing right after. So it's like we're gonna retcon your past so that we can then act surprised when you do the exact same thing that you did before. Like literally every time you meet some broad and she says, "Let's start over" or something to that effect, that's how like that's her trying to retcon what she did. It's best not to respond to stupid I don't. The only time I respond is if I screenshot them, put them in the video, and laugh at them. But they don't like that because they want a direct response, and they don't. What do you call it? Like a lot of times, they don't even check your channel anyway, so they don't. They don't even know that you did that to them. I think Discord really is the worst website of all time. Because even with Twitter, it's like they don't have little secret rooms where they like a whole group of people are just talking trash and making master plans and all the rest of that. That only happens on Discord. Imagine if politicians were on Discord. Like that's the only thing Twitter has over Discord that like it's more official because people that actually matter show up on there. You know, I don't think I ever mentioned this. There's a video um from I think that was 2016. It might have been, yeah, it was that year. Um to put things as concise as I can, there was a guy that did an interview with this talk show host, and it's one of those interviews where it's like two people sitting down together, or it's like focused. Like it would be like if I interviewed somebody and then I'm sitting over there and you can't see, but you can see them as they're responding to me. And the during the interview, the guy smiles. The guy just, I mean, he's just talking normally, you know, whatever. So then these people that he used to be friends with make a video making fun of him. And while they're doing their video where it's like 5 or 6 of them sitting in the basement all laughing at him together, like, and they're saying some pretty goofy stuff. They're talking about why is he smiling, why is he showing his teeth, you know, just all kind of craziness. But while they're saying all this stuff about him and whatnot, they have roaches crawling, Right. So then the guy that they made fun of did a like 3 hour response stream where he was making fun of them for having stuff moving in the background. He's like, I didn't know you guys had all these uninvited guests making cameos. I just always remembered that, like, as they're talking, you just see like a whole hole. Right. And I don't usually sit there and like actually care about someone's background, but I swear to you, most videos on this website, if you do see something behind a person, maybe it's like a relative, some other adult, a kid, um, a cat, a dog. No, it's just crawling behind the person. And it's like five or six people. Yeah, so I was saying this, and then you got this stuff like crawling. Again, for that to happen while you're making fun of like the way somebody else looks and speaks and all the rest, that it's just the irony is amazing. And sure enough, they've never had another video where that was in the background, but just it just seems that makes all the more comedic that the one time they were caught slipping in terms of, I guess, cleanliness, whatever, it's while they're doing a video making fun of someone else, over like the way they look and all the rest of that stuff. Just sitting in that bookstore, five, six guys talking together, and then right behind them, for like a whole 30 minutes, just crawling in the back. Because I remember they I don't know if they took the video down, but I know he didn't take his stream down. He was like, "You want to be on your A game when you start disrespecting people." No, that's one of the goofiest things I've ever seen on this website. Just by virtue of the fact that most people, and again, we all have different little pests that show up here and there. But I've never had one appear in a video because most of them usually are on the floor or something in some other room or whatever. I always make sure I have some raid. It's just to have stuff crawling in like where everyone can see it, and then you don't even notice it until the video's already been like. Because I always how do I explain it? The fact that they made that, put it online, and then didn't even notice that stuff crawling behind them is what makes it all the more funny. So I said this website has a lot of nut stuff that happens on it. Oh, James said he's going to delete his Discord account. I mean, I'm not surprised. You already deleted your YouTube account. That can do a lot, way more for you than Discord can. Like, if there's two accounts you shouldn't get rid of, are their YouTube and Twitch, because you can actually, depending on how big you are, make some coins off of those. A Discord account is about as useful as a. Let me think of something. They're about as benefiting to you as I don't know, maybe the common cold. Like they can sometimes just be an annoyance, like the common cold, or they can evolve into something even worse, like the I don't know, the swine flu or something. I see the envoy left the building. He decided to. I think he's going to court because he has to face up for stealing that lady's picture. She's decided to come after him after all this time. She tracked him down. Yeah, I'm really amazed by some of the insane things we've seen on there. And again, it sucks because there are some people on there that actually act normal. It's just, I guess the biggest issue for me is that some of the ones that act normal, I have to like put up with insane people to even be able to speak to them. They go in like a different server's VC, and it's like 5 or 6 other individuals in there, and they're all trying to talk over each other. It's just it's real aggravating. So like, this is the only website I've ever seen. Like I remember, that's one of the reasons I like Skype more than Discord, because on there people like treat it like it's just a way to have a way of calling those that you know and on the internet. You know, just you had more intimate discussions. You didn't have any of this. This person said this about you in my server. You know, drama trash that you have now. Very seldom do I see people making exposed videos with Skype screenshots or trying to bring drama from Skype over to YouTube, unless it was someone that was already like well known on YouTube. Almost never. People still go on Skype. Yeah, but not anywhere near as many as operate on Discord now. And it's crazy too, because Discord's supposed to be a site for games, and a lot of people that use that site don't even play any games. Discord is as useful as a screen. Yeah, that was the one I was thinking of. I feel like I've said that before, so I didn't want to be redundant. Discord is as useful as a pack of pens that come with a pencil sharpener. If that's the case, then they need to bring back MySpace. Man, for as long as I can remember, that site has been just gone. Like like I don't I remember when I was in like kindergarten and first grade, people were using that thing. That's like early 2000s, like 2003, 2004, 5, 6. That site is just, that's really like the first big internet site that just went off the grid and like nobody used anymore. Like I think you're always gonna have people who still go to Instagram to post their little nasty booty pictures. Um, you know, the same can be like I don't like Discord at all, but I think it's gonna keep being useful for people who want to talk trash vocally while hiding their face. Uh, and I don't think YouTube's gonna get taken out by like any other video sharing site anytime soon. So you get the point that it just seems like MySpace is the only one that just couldn't compete. Like it just fell out of favor so hard and so quickly compared to everywhere else. Because even with Twitter, even though I proved that there are more people who were there before talking more as opposed to new people making accounts and speaking just as much, I don't think it's ever going to die out simply for the fact that it has a lot of politicians on it, and I don't see where they're going to make the switch to Rumble or any of these other websites. I never even had a me neither. I had a cousin who had one, and that was about it. That was the time when PS3 was going to drop in stores in early 2008. Isn't that around the same time that last Harry Potter book came out and people were running the stores spoiling the ending? And because I remember I used to love those videos, like just the way people would react to them, where they like there was this one video where someone spoiled the ending while they were in the line for it, and this guy ran up to the back of their. I would never do that. Like I don't have, because I know there are some people who really hate spoilers. I'm kind of like mixed on because a lot of times if I know a plot detail, I still want to see how it happens because sometimes it doesn't play out as well as it can. But it was funny to see the way people were reacting to that. Because now pretty much anything you want spoiled, you just go on Wikipedia. They got the plot summary on there. But like if it's a movie, by the time midnight hits, it'll be on there. Like I didn't even see Shang Chi. Nor did I even read the plot summary. I just went to the post credits and I was like, oh okay, nice. Same thing with Venom 2. The second that the movie comes out, this is them. This is what the boys on WikiPix do. Movie comes out on Friday. It's like 11:59. Movie comes out. It's 12 o'clock. They don't even hit enter. They just click submit on the tab. Let me see what else is here. I didn't even know you still use Reddit because I stopped using them after I got tired of that R for R section stuff where you just kept having chicks post, "Hey, I want to get to know somebody. Let's keep each other company," and then you send them a message and they never respond, or if they do, it's like maybe one or two replies and they vanish forever. It's just it got really redundant. And like I said, that's the stuff that made the approach number just become like I couldn't even count anymore because there were so many of them where you send them a message, they don't respond, or they respond maybe once or twice, and then they just never say anything again. So that was that's why I don't really care for that site. That was when okay, I already read the yeah, I read all his comments, all three of them, the trilogy of Let's Go Monk comments. We read every last one of them. Man, this is the most dead chat I've had in a while. I actually did meet this one person who said that they have a parent that like practices the mystic arts or whatever. I'm gonna have to ask them to resurrect my chat. It just really sucks with the like the comments that were left on that video about the lady. It's like people really don't understand. It's not about, oh, this person said no to you. It's like, no, it's you have a person who says very explicitly um romantic stuff that you can hear with your own ears because I got the recording in there, and then they do almost nothing to follow up with it, and then you're put in this position of, do you just keep waiting for them to eventually show interest again, or do you just say, I got to move on? And you had a creep who left a comment. I got rid of it where they were like, "Oh, they typically ghost for a while. Just have to give them space." Like, what space? Why do you have to wait a week for someone to schedule a call? Like, it's not as if you're asking them when are they going to be available to get married. It's a phone call. And it's, "Oh, most women don't schedule a call." Oh yeah, I believe that. No proof to support his claim. Just some weird generalization that he has nothing to back up with. So I'm really excited to put that one out tomorrow or today, depending on if I finish it. Because I wrote most of the script. I just have to, you know, finish the rest of it and then record it and do the usual stuff. It just sucks that people want to act so confused over something that you explain repeatedly is did the guy respond back? What guy? The one that wrote the weird comment and had 4 replies under him? No. He's a drive-by typer. They write some weird trash, and then when they get the opportunity to talk to people about the weird trash that they wrote, they decline because they know that the stuff they're writing is kind of creepy and crazy. So they're not going to come back and see what was written to them because they're a drive-by typer. I really did not want people to like respond to those individuals anymore. Like they know the stuff they're writing is weird and it doesn't make any sense. That's why they don't come back and try to defend it. And it's like they got 4 responses to them. And I really when I first saw that thought it was like an argument between him and somebody else. It's like 3 different people replying to him and getting no response. And then like day after day, I'm like, all right, let me just see if he actually says something. Still no response. So I'm gonna get rid of that and I'm gonna put I'll probably screenshot the stuff that was written to him and then put that in the video as like record of it. Like that's the biggest reason I didn't get rid of it because I had to get rid of what is it? To get rid of his 1 comment, I have to also get rid of 4 other comments. But I'll do it because I don't feel like staring at that trash anymore. You are way too young to be worried about something like this. What is the correct age to be concerned about it? No response. No elaboration. Told you he's just like he's like if Gerds just left 1 comment and vanished. Like that's the kind of logic that guy is spewing out. Just writing these like riddles that you have to get that leave you more confused after you read them than if you had never seen them before. I sincerely hope you find a nice lady one day. It'll serve you well to not expect so much from someone. The real reason why guys relate to each other is because they have a girlfriend. That's why they respond to you. Well, I mean, I don't understand how you can, I guess, what's the way of putting it? Be so antagonistic, right, to someone and then get surprised when they don't want to talk to you. Because, like I said, if I came on here or if someone did a video on me and they said, hey, he spoke to me in an explicit manner, I thought he wanted me to come to where he was. And then over the next couple of days, he was like very reluctant to say anything. He couldn't even schedule a call, which is significantly easier than trying to get a date with someone that lives in another part of the world. So I walked away after giving him almost a whole week to do this. People would say, yeah, he wasted your time. Yeah, he led you on. Yeah, you have a right to be upset. But like I said, when they have that triangle, the plot armor kicks in and nobody wants to criticize them. Where's the video that you said you were gonna make? Oh, the video on what weed? I'll check it out. I didn't even recognize me. Got a different avatar. I was like, who is this? His name's in cap locks too. I was like, are we seeing the arrival of some new antagonists? It's not just that. It's mainly about getting a date. Well, yeah, that's my thing. That's like people think you're supposed to do like we already talked about this how if you told a woman she has to wait 5, 10, 15 years so that one man might maybe like her and go on a date with her, you look like a lunatic. you would say there's no way in hell someone should have to have this weird test of endurance, right? To get like very tiny stuff of reciprocation from the opposite sex. But for some reason, people expect men to be women's slaves. They think we're supposed to just put up with everything that they do and give them like all of this sympathy and understand them in like all these different ways, and then also not be upset when they do screwed up things to us because power of the triangle. You saw what that clown wrote. Oh well, you know, she had. I understand her decision to take a few steps back from you because it's her decision. So that's why I say I'm sick of these bastards. They should all be blocked. They should never be allowed to say a single word to me because it's a waste of my time talking to someone whose fundamental belief is that the chick can do no wrong. I don't sit here and pretend one gender is perfect while the other isn't. Every man is in pain deep down. Yeah, it sure is an eyesore outright to see the stuff these people write. To hell with deep down, I'm outright admitting it's a pain. I'm like, man, this stuff is never gonna stop. Then why did she talk to you if she doesn't want anything to do with you? And again, that goes back to my thing of why it doesn't make sense. If you want to take a few steps away from someone, whatever that means, you're not going to have an explicit conversation with them. Yeah, this guy is just so loud with that thing, I swear, every time. That's one of the reasons I don't stream on Wednesday or Thursday, because that's when the guy is just outside with the leaf blower. If I like your question, then why did she talk to you if she doesn't want anything to do with you? Because they don't make any sense. Yeah, that seems like a big scam telling a man it's someone for everybody. Well, like I said, if that was true, why do you have 30 guys talking to one woman? Like why are there so many men that will approach the same broad if there's supposedly someone for everyone? I told you they like that Disneyland fairy tale because it makes them feel better about a trash, garbage, horrible circumstance that befell you simply because you don't have a triangle between your legs. You know. Because like I said, there are a whole bunch of guys that have this same issue, and they just don't talk about it online, so people, don't know about it. Somebody for everybody. Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. You know how many times I see some chick that I don't even think is that like going back to the one that had the 20 guys that were trying to talk to her, the one that had the guy in from the many options video, right? That wrote the like explicit crap to me about I'm gonna spank you and all the rest of that. I showed her picture to my best friend. He said she is all right looking, but there is no way. How do I explain this? So she sent me her picture privately, as in I never shared it online with anybody or anything like that. I just kept it to myself. It's like I don't see where this woman is so amazingly beautiful as to have like several, what is it, multiple basketball teams worth of guys trying to go. Like it just it doesn't compute, and it's even scary when you consider if someone that is okay looking can get that many men interested in her, someone that's okay looking, is not famous, doesn't own anything, they all they know is her username and her gender, gets that many men saying something to her. What the hell chance does anybody have of getting a date? It's like that's something these coaches and all the rest of these people who sit up here and try to gas you up never discuss. They never talk about the competition because they always want it to be your fault. They'll be the first ones to say, you probably didn't do this, you probably didn't do that. But they'll never mention, well, she was doing this, she was talking to 5, 10, 15 other men, sometimes even more than that. Yep, I knew these women are on some type of medication. So 17 women equals the women on the planet in that website. Me Time has over 100 million users. Okay, you're responding to him. Okay, because I was getting confused. Like, what? What's 17 women? I approached way more than that. Some kind of medication. I do think something is genuinely wrong with either half of them or most of them. I'm not even saying that to be funny, to be comedic, to like, because again, I always concede there are some that don't do this. Because like literally nobody would be getting a date if all of them were this way. I wouldn't exist if all of them always did this as well. But uh, there's two. Yeah, they have emotions that are all over the place, and no rational human being would want to put up with. I'm gonna tell Brandon that I'll do all this stuff to him, and then in the next couple of days, barely say anything to him, and go from laughing at what he's sending me to calling him weird, even though it was me a few days ago who was talking about doing all this stuff with him. So it's like again, it's like split personalities. They have multiple different ones, and nobody wants to put up with that. They know what they're doing when it comes to their, but yeah, they're not. Hey, all these chicks are just Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Glad I was able to catch the stream. Thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, the new romance video where I laugh at the goofy comments on the one from, what was that, 2 weeks ago, should be out tomorrow. My screenshot app is not working, so I can't expose these women of who they really are. Well, I don't ever put up their picture. That's a no-no. Hell, I was wrestling with putting up the audio for the one from last time because that's something I never did before. And I just, there's always the thing of like, the more you reveal about someone, the more worried you are that it'll come out of who they are. But, it's just, I just, it needs to be understood. That wasn't like all the other times where you thought somebody liked, it's like, no, most of them literally will not say the type of stuff that one said in that call. What was that? 3 weeks ago. So, it's like if one of them who says that, you still can't take at their word. I don't know who you can believe. Yeah, I have most of the script written. I just have to, because I'm going somewhere for the next few hours, so I'll try to write it when I'm up there on good old mobile Google Docs, typing like that. And again, if I don't do it tomorrow, the latest it could be up is by like next Tuesday. Because I do kind of feel bad about no DVD video this week. Just a lot of horrible stuff's been happening. So, but I'm not surprised about how much you're unveiling this discourse saga. I mentioned this earlier. In the span of 2 weeks, I've had 3 people unfriend me after they were the one that sent me a friend request, and one of them literally unfriended me to send me another one in like less than an hour. And I mentioned the second one was like so adamant that I accept the request. She messaged this other person I speak to, was like, "Why didn't he accept it? Tell him I sent him one." It's like, what's the point, Like, because again, it's that red herring thing where it looks like someone really wants to speak to you, and then it's like, "Oh, we got you." So I'm not too excited to talk about how nuts they are. My screenshot app is not working, so I can't expose these women of who they really are. I'm just imagining it's like a movie where he's like, I'm gonna expose them. What, the screenshot app isn't working? I remember that one video I did, the proof romance is a scam, right? It was like screenshots of 20 something chicks in that video. Like, even some ones I talked about in the past, and the whole point of the video is like, how many of them do you have to go through this with before people finally just admit, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. You want to talk to their insane selves anymore. That's why I said it's either going to be after this one or that romantic rejection comic book one, where I'm just gonna, for every video, I'm just gonna have a picture of myself just hanging on a cross as the like main image in the video. I'll start drawing that thing tonight. The romance scapegoat. Yeah, they do that to lower your guard, to only to flip around or completely renege. So many of them do that to people. So much mentally ill people on that site. You know what? One of them admitted that they were after they did that. And look, I don't try to hold people's mental illness against them. It's like ironic to say that as a thing mainly for like insult to like to justify how insane what they do is. And then you find out they actually, some of them actually do have that, and they try to like use that to explain why they did what they did. So much mentally ill people on that side. I've had similar experiences on there too. It's like the most bizarre thing. I mentioned before, every time you talk to one of these people, it looks like, they want to speak to you, a window appears and you start to open. You think, okay, maybe this time it'll be different. Maybe this time they won't renege and lie on me and try to waste my time. And right in the stomach, right? Just always you lower your guard and then you get knocked right back down. But yeah, I remember that video, the proof romance is a scam one, because like out of all the ones I ever made, that one has the most just examples of bizarre stuff from chicks. And I was like, I remember I sat there in front of my camera just recording myself, no script, right, for like 2 hours, just reading different screenshots and then sitting there and editing it toward the end. It's like people actually think this is like right, like this is good. That's a nice analogy. This happens so many times to the point of thinking, why should you ever take them seriously again? Well, that was the point of the one that had the phone thing. It's like, if someone who says you can come to her country and have intercourse with her cannot be believed, right? When they say something like that. If someone who agrees to marry you cannot be believed when she agrees to a proposal like that. If someone who asks you on a date uh reneges after making a comment of interest like that, why should you ever believe anything they say again? Because they've already shown over the course of multiple years, they will say whatever it takes to get you to talk to them or to waste your time or to, start something that goes nowhere. That's why the bimbo after someone looked like said, "You're not my type." As I mentioned before, you would never see me have the kind of conversation I had with her with a woman, and then when I see what she looks like, I say she's not my type. I don't talk that way to someone who's not my type. Like I said, that's why I don't even want to release the whole thing, because it's like I know that no matter how much proof you have of these bastards, these people are just going to keep making excuses for them. So what's the point? Mm. I'm getting that feeling that women are really not good people anymore. Who was your first clue? You don't pay attention to actions instead of words. No, I do. That's why I got rid of her after 5 days. I was like, yeah, this is going nowhere, and I don't want a repeat of 2017. So I do pay attention to actions. I wasn't tricked like I was with the one that agreed to that thing, a few years ago. Like I literally explained the video. That was the rationale behind. Okay, this one gets almost a full week to waste my time, and after that, it's over. Exactly. You don't say the things what she said. You don't say the things what she said to you to someone that isn't your type. That's why it's just so insane. You should have seen my reaction. I couldn't believe it. I was like, this again, it always happens. And it's one of those things where it's like, if I didn't show her my picture, that was just gonna happen anyway. Like, let's say I had another 2 or 3 explicit calls with this broad, and then she sees what I look like and it says that or believes that. So I just said, let's just rip the band-aid off, you know, because I don't need to have phone intercourse with someone to get my jollies. It doesn't do anything for me. Yeah, but here's the crazy thing. I don't see a lot of guys saying stuff like this. Yeah, that's why I'm not like the rest of them. In case you couldn't tell. That's why a lot of times when people are disagreeing, and they instead of responding to what I'm actually saying, they have to write weird stuff I didn't even say to like be able to even respond to what I'm talking about, or insult my appearance or some other irrelevant thing. No, I'm talking about the behavior. Yeah, I don't know any men that do this. Like I have never, if you see a woman complain about a guy, it's usually, oh, he cheated on me. Oh, he said this to me and then did this with this other person. You don't really see, man, there was this guy I was talking to, and he said that he was interested in me, and then all of a sudden he blocked me the next day and he said that we wouldn't work, and it was like so weird because he led me on for weeks or months. You don't see that. You don't see men wasting the world's time like a lot of these chicks do. How many men do you know that got 30 chicks they're talking to? Like, and not even like, oh, I'm on her page, her page. I'm talking about he posts a picture of himself online and has 30 chicks DMing him or 20 or 10. Told you all the like wasting time stuff you can track down the chicks. Because remember, in my video, I showed where the lady that said that she had the too many messages to handle. I offered to stop speaking to her so she could focus on the other however many guys she was talking to, and she said no. And it's like it went nowhere still. So they like to waste people's time even when they're offered the opportunity not to do so. Same thing with the one that kept scheduling to have phone calls over and remember 6 times and then didn't do them. And the bastard can never just say, "Look, I can't speak to you. I don't have the time." Oh, I'll try to make an effort, and then eventually just stop responding altogether. Like that's why I said people are sick of them, and the only people that aren't usually are them or some guy that has his head so far up there behind he can see their uterus. People that you could literally you get I mentioned before you get stabbed by a chick and they would still be defending it. Well, she probably looked at her the wrong way. She got scared. Remember what Miss Crossdale said? I have a vibe that you just want to get screwed, even though you've never said that, because I'm so intelligent. I'm so bright that I put words in your mouth and think I sound smart doing that. She has such a high intellect. I'm talking to normal chicks I see around my social circles. I don't DM Instagram models or celebrities. Dude, but that's the thing. None of the chicks I've spoken to are celebrities. I could say every one of their names, like your usernames, real names. I know a few of them real names. I've met them in real life. You would not know who they are. Hell, that's why my best friend said I might as well just start approaching celebrities. You'd have the same result, except people would be more understanding. And if someone says, man, she's out of your league. She was in like 10 movies, I would go, yep, yep, yep. That's why it's so disturbing just how they'll go to the ends of the earth to defend a random chick they don't even know. Dude, I've known guys that you talk trash about their sister and they're over there nodding their head agreeing with you. Because even they know something's wrong with her. That's why like it just always was so weird to me that these people get so defensive for chicks that they don't even know. Because people in real life have relatives that have done something wrong or screwed up to another person and they won't even defend it. So it can't be I'm intentionally going after women who have multiple men. Well, I mean, look, as much as you might want to believe that, like I said, you have random chicks that nobody ever heard of can get multiple men to talk to them at once. And like you don't know what to what extent that that person has going on outside of you. So there's always that hidden factor, you know. Because I gotta say, the one time I ever spoke to multiple chicks at once, which was like four of them at once, about 4 years ago, I was a lot less receptive to like putting up with BS from one or two of them. You know, it is you have ones you prefer over others, and I actually had one person like, I can't believe you would talk to four women at once. Like none of these bastards are committed to me, so yeah, I didn't see a problem with that. You know how many men they speak to online all the time, every day? God, the grandstanding these pricks have just blatant double standards. I'm supposed to be committed to speaking to one person who I've never dated, who, as far as I'm aware, is not even romantically interested in me. Just complete buffoons. Like the idea that I'm supposed to like be embarrassed or otherwise feel bad for doing this. Like I'm not leading anybody on. I'm interested in all of them. It's they who have to do something to actually show this will go anywhere. No, the ones I'm interested in, I initiate. If not, they're my friend. I know I'm just saying that even ones that aren't famous or on Instagram or whatever can still have multiple men they're talking to. Yeah, constantly mounting loads of unsolicited attention from so many guys, but you weren't allowed to speak to more than one chick at a time. Dude, like I'm not even saying this to be funny. You would actually have like there's a lot of rationale for a man messaging like 30 chicks. Like just saying hello to 30 or 40 chicks at once. I'm not even trying to be funny because if you look at anyone's track record of like mostly getting turned down or always getting turned down, there's no reason to believe that next one or two or three people is going to be the one that finally, stops doing that. So you have a lot of rationale to talk to as many of them as you'd like. I remember on Reddit, I messaged so many of those damn bastards that I couldn't even. One of them did like they'll send you like on Skype they would send you an invite, talk to them on there, and then you don't even know their name because there's so many of them that you hit up. And one of them did get offended. I was like, all right, I don't care, go away. You wouldn't have liked me anyway, you know. It's like, oh no, the woman that was going to be so different from all of the ones that came before, I forever have destroyed my chances with her because she didn't like that I forgot her username or didn't know what her username was because I was talking to so many damn chicks because of how hard it is to get one in the first place. Oh no. When most of the time a guy wouldn't have more than one chick speaking to him at a time anyways. Remember what I said in the women's many options video, when a man gets a woman to like him back, that's like an accomplishment or it's like some big feat. But when a woman gets a man to like her back, it's like no big deal because usually no one else was even trying to get him anyway. And it's like an election, winning an election where only one person was running. And I showed the screenshot from I remember I was in 10th grade when that happened, when Sessions won re-election to his final term in Alabama, and the Democrats didn't even try. They didn't even put anybody up. They're like, whatever, just let him have it. There have been so many races that I can think of where nobody else ran. But that's what a chick that is like approaching a man and trying to get his like that's what it is for when a woman gets a man to like her back. It's one person running. Like vote for me if I win, which I will anyway, because I'm the only person who's even trying. I'll do this. Oh yeah, that's true because there wasn't any competition, so it'll be much easier for the person. It's completely easy. All like literally, all he did was sign his name, like to run on the ballot, get the signatures, and then he just sat on his behind for the next 12 months until he won. Oh my god! When you have no competition, things are a hell of a lot easier. That's just the way we'll put it. Every time you speak to a new chick, is the window's opening. You start to put it down a little bit. Maybe this will finally be different. Maybe this won't be the same thing over and over again. Maybe things will finally change after 10 years of the same ridiculous overdone. And right there, they always, every time. That's the only reason the gold digger even got through because that was someone who asked me out versus the reverse, versus the reverse, and you still got the same result. Very articulate, very accurate analogy. I wish I would do a whole video just like on all the elections where someone ran and they won because they were the only person running. They only but that race was so pathetic because they didn't even try. Like in a lot of states, like for example, California is a blue state. The Republicans will still try, and they'll still win some races like some House seats, a little different congressional districts. But to just say, okay, here's one of the two Senate seats in this state. The person that gets this position will be on track to become one of the most powerful people in America, and we're just going to say, yeah, we're not even going to bother. Just deal with it. Oh, that'd be so funny if I did like a little parody video where it's like when guys run to get the attention of a woman, and they have like all these different campaign offices right next to each other, and they're like, if she gets with me, I can give her a house and I can give her some free stuff. And this one's like, but if she gets with me, I can give her this and that. And then it's like when a woman runs to get a man's attention, and like she's the only person running, so like there's only this one campaign box, and she's already writing her acceptance speech because she already knows she got it in the back. Oh my god. Why does the state matter? What do you mean, why does it matter? Some states are blue, some states are red, some are purple. I mean, you know that. What's that one state, South Dakota? They haven't had a Democrat as governor since the 60s. Like they've had for like 40 straight years just Republicans as governor. So the state does matter. And we haven't had a Republican as governor over here since I was in like sixth or seventh grade. So yeah, no, I'm responding to how can a person like you living get rid? Okay, yeah, now I see why you said that. Never mind, my mistake, Brandon. That was my error. I didn't read what he was typing. I don't even know what that's supposed to mean. Yeah, why would I want to date a gold digger? Like what would be appealing about that to me? Oh, here's this woman who only likes you for what you own. How romantic. Do they always bring up some irrelevant stuff to make their point? Their points. So it's nothing new. How can this happen to you if you live in this state? You're supposed to have plot armor. They're doing this to people all over the world. I knew a guy from India. They did this too. Um, like a lot of the guys that talk trash about chicks online are from different countries, like Canada. Hell, my best friend has lived in both this state, and I don't want to say the other one because I don't know if he would approve of it, but it's like he gets the same result no matter where he goes because there is no difference. Like American chicks, some of them might have an accent, but they pretty much are the same. How can you get rejected if you're man? I wish you could have seen when I was in high school. Like every school I went to, because I went to three of them. Like all of the like, there might have been in a class where there's like let's say 20, 30, 40 guys. Maybe like two of them had a girlfriend. So many of them would just sit around and be like, "Oh man, this one chick is so hot. I'm not even gonna bother asking her out." That was the first sign that something was wrong with like the way that the chick stuff was going. Because there were a lot of guys when I was in those different schools that would just admit, like actively, like, "Yeah, I don't have anything going on with any of these broads." Which again, I didn't fault anybody for because I it was the same thing on on my end too. But it's just it was something I didn't really put together that much until just seeing all this stuff online. I was like, wow, nobody like if I think to the last one I went to, I can think of maybe two couples in my class, three, four. And these are some pretty big classes. They have like, 20, 30 female students. Like they're pretty even number of male and female students. Like, yeah, you're not like very and then even some of the chicks, if they have a boyfriend, it's not someone that goes to the school. I remember when I was in 12th grade, I had a classmate that was married to her boyfriend because of some religious reason thing. And I was like, I was so disturbed and weirded out by this. I was like, what the hell? Like it was that year where I just knew something was like wrong with people. Like, cause I had another classmate that had a kid. I was like, yeah, I no, no, thank you. I'm gonna stay away from these strange bastards as much as I can. Oh, and before anybody even starts writing trash, I already know if I had a kid in 12th grade, I would get called deadbeat and you destroyed its life. So I don't even care about saying that type of stuff. Nope, sorry. Don't even waste the world's time writing that. I already know what kind of crucifix I'd have around me if I was if I did the stuff they did when they did it. The amount of guys, including myself, who had crushes with the majority of chicks in our secondary school. I'm wondering, do you drive in real life? What does that even mean? What do I just like drive around the neighborhood? Do do do. Hello, woman. Would you like to get in my car? Nothing inconspicuous going on here. No, Megumi. I never really thought about. It. I was like, yeah, most schools I went to, it was like a handful of couples, maybe like two, three, four, and then a bunch of guys that were like, yeah, there's this one chick in this class, but whatever. That's a really sad thing to think about. Like for the entire time I went to it was like seventh grade, eighth grade, ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th. It's like, yeah, most of the guys, as far as I could tell, weren't with anybody either. Because I remember the ones that had a girlfriend would like sit with them and in like later years make out and stuff. It's like they didn't do that for the majority of them. They just were like whatever. So I guess you don't have a driver's license. What are you talking about? Again, when people get banned, they act like they didn't write some weird stuff. Hey, that's the new fan fiction. I don't have a license, huh? Yeah, weird comments. Here we go. They always do this. They always find some bizarre thing to bring up, and well, first of all, get incorrect, but also when they do a little, it's like fan fiction slash the fatal flaw mixed together. They put them in a little pot. It's like the Powerpuff Girls sugar spice everything nice, except with them, it's like lies, fan fiction, and everything incorrect. What's this got to do with anything that's being said? Nothing. That's the answer, Megumi. Nothing. They just write weird stuff. He wants to know where you meet women. Sometimes online. It used to be in real life too. I guess you don't have a driver's license. I have no way of proving this, but I'm just gonna say it because I'm gonna look for you another issue in you. Remember what we said about the parallels between these guys? Megumi, I want to ask you, have you ever seen him before? This was it Let's Go Monk person. Have you ever seen him before? Remember what I said earlier about how it's always someone that you've never seen before that starts writing these like antagonistic and or weird comments that are like irrelevant to what's being discussed. So how do you guys get women? Oh man, according to you, I don't have a license, so I don't know. Maybe I just get some pixie dust and they appear to me. Yeah, they all like who is this? Now Megumi, you know that no man that doesn't have a license ever gotten a chick before. So if you ever had any classmates that were like 14, 13, 15, had a girlfriend, they actually had a car and a license, even though it would have been illegal. But you know, they already had one. They always do that. I'm pretty sure you watched his videos. Come on, he gives so many examples of how. Yeah, dude, it's just it's more weird stuff. Before the virus, I would meet chicks at college through friends or use dating apps. I mentioned before I used Tinder for like 5 days and got sick of that thing because you would just keep swiping right over and over and nobody would say anything. So it was like, all right, whatever. Not in reality though. What is reality? What are you talking about? I'm trying to figure out what he defines as reality. Good, because I used it for a year and yeah, it's a waste of time. So a mall isn't reality. Dude, I remember that video. It was called like I approached a woman for the first time in a year and got this. And it was me like talking about going to the mall and asking some like lady if I could say something to her. I was trying to speak to her and it just walked away. How it's like even if you approach them in real life or online, it's always the same result. Well, during lockdown, you can't even go anywhere anyway. Yep, let's pretend that every guy that's had a girlfriend during school had a car. Again, man, it's just another short-sighted, just bizarre. Like, I mean, you know how it is, man. First it's height, then it's wealth, then it's fame. You know, they always pick up some random thing. So if a woman asks you, "Do you drive?" and your answer is no, she'll walk away. But I didn't say I didn't drive. So what are you talking about? And actually, since we've been doing the online thing, we can prove via screenshots of messages that we still have that the majority of the ones I have spoken to don't ask you if you drive. They might assume that you do, but they don't ask. Like if I'm speaking to somebody, I ask them what are your interests, what do you like to do, not hey, so do you have a car? Do you drive? Give a license? No, I can actually prove the majority of them that I've spoken to via the messages that I still have never asked that. And how does he know if I drive or does he have my DMV records? Do you know what this reminds me of? The guy from the World Without Heroes 2 stream where he was like, I know you don't go to the gym. Like, how do you know? Like, oh, it's COVID is not an excuse to not be healthy. I'm like, how do you know if I'm healthy or not? Do you have my medical records? Like, really wrote, the mall's been dead since 2014. Not really. People still go in there. What happened during 2014 for the mall to be dead? Dude, he's just like the guy that got deleted on the video. They write these weird comments, like the guy was like, most chicks don't schedule dates or calls. Like, according to what? Do you have any data to support that? Because in the video, I'm like, I've met plenty of chicks that if you ask them when you next available, they'll say tomorrow, in 2 days, a week. So I didn't believe that part at all. So you know where to meet chicks. I want to know why has the mall been dead since 2014? What happened that year? Why do we always need to have at least one user just writing silly, weird comments on the stream? It's like it's mandated. Just like if you ever saw Phineas and Ferb, Disney mandated that they have to put. It was like after I think episode 4, 5, 6, they had to put a song in every episode. Like every stream I have is mandated that you have to have at least one of these people show up, and they're all the same. I mean, it's like it's always someone you've never seen before, acting like they're this big expert on chicks, and accusing me of different stuff. It's all just repeats. Wonder where they come from. Yeah, I live with the mystery. I'm starting to just assume that maybe Palpatine has cloned himself again. You're dumb if you think it's just a club. So if you want to get a girlfriend, go to the club, huh? You sound like you're too young. Too what? How old are you? Like, you know what? Let's ask you some questions since you want to accuse everyone of something. You want to accuse me of not having a license. You want to accuse him of being too young. How old are you? If your next comment doesn't tell us how old you are banned. Yeah, sir. I don't know why you're here if we're all so young and too incapable of understanding reality. You're more than welcome to leave. And also, if you really have this amazing strategy of going to the club just insta fix and solves everything, I highly encourage and endorse you making a video showing all these successful efforts you've had by going to the club. I would love to see it. I'll be the first one to comment. So I go, wow, this is amazing. So everything that's being said in our points, criticizing the problem isn't valid since you're assuming we are too young. Dude, they always do this like condescending trash. That's their go-to quick scheme to get out of actually addressing what you're saying. What was her name? Triple L did the exact same thing. Wait 5, 10, 15 years for a woman to like you back. Yeah, I don't need to hear riddles. Are you actually going to show some proof of how going to the club results in all of these new efforts and is so much more fruitful than going to the mall? And you still haven't explained to me why the mall has been dead since 2014. What happened that year? Did the Democrats getting destroyed in the midterms make people stop going to the mall? Because I went up there plenty of times after that, and there were a whole bunch of people. Well, I don't think 34 is old, as in yeah, whatever. You're old, and it seems as though the club solves your girl problems doesn't seem to be working for you. Like I said, if these people are so successful, why are they watching me? But okay, listen. People have been going online and buying things for over 10 years. eBay's been around since at least the early 2000s. So, what about 2014 in particular made the mall start being dead? That's what I'm asking. What about that year made that happen? Megumi, don't write any more comments. I know you don't have a driver's license. I've never met you in person, but I'm going to glimpse into your, I have a window into your soul, so I know you don't have one. Businesses are not the same anymore. Always have rude people. Okay, I'm asking you a pretty direct question, and I'm not speaking a foreign language. I asked, what about 2014 made the malls be dead? What about that specific year, according to you, made the malls become dead? Still waiting for the answer. Now, the second time I've asked that question, if I have to reach a third time, it's over for you. Yeah, but Toys R Us was around after that year. Toys R Us didn't close down until 2018 or 19. Let me see. Let me see, what year was that? I know it was later than that because that horrible Star Wars movie was out by that point. Yeah, 2018. So they were still around for 4 years after that. So again, my question is not being answered. It's just so silly because they're trying to say your age and validate your experiences you've ever had with chicks in general. Well, see, again, that's the kind of stuff people who don't want to actually address what you're saying use. Because if you notice, I'm not saying, well, you're 34, so you can't talk to me, old man. Get up. I'm asking what points are you making and what I'm asking to elaborate on the things he has claimed. You know, we don't have to bring up irrelevant stuff to get our point across. A huge joke, yeah. No, the romance guys are the easiest ones to take care of because, like, with political people, usually with them, you can prove stuff against what they're saying, and they just don't want to believe it. But they're the easiest group to just like completely bulldoze in terms of like logic because they start saying stuff doesn't even make any sense. Like Toys R Us in 2014 was still around. They were around for another 4 years. So I don't even know what he's saying anymore. It's just really weird. More because the women are there just to hang out with their friends. They're not interested in talking to guys. That's why I don't even get what he's saying. Like at least if you talk to a chick on a dating website or like when Reddit had the R for R thing, you could make the inference that she wants to find some guy, even if it's not specifically you to speak to, because why else would she make an account on there, you know? But someone could reasonably say a woman is just at a club to hang out with her friend, you know? So it's sad that we can't have like adult conversations with actual adults. Because with the stuff he was writing, I expect for a little kid to type, "You are probably too young to understand reality." What is reality? You probably don't have a license. How do you know this? They act like they're, what's the name of that character from Marvel, the Watcher, who just sees everything? That's what they act like. I remember Marvel's YouTube channel said this once. I was like, "Who watches the Watcher?" That's what he, what he's doing. He's got that window into your soul. He knows more about you than you know about yourself. Not because he has proof of anything. He just makes it up as he goes along. It's so damn sad we had to make a song. He claims the mall's been dead since 2014, but his facts and evidence, they remain unseen. A huge joke. Damn, I don't even mind the chat being dead after that. That was getting really goofy. No, we got mandate. Every stream has to have somebody come on there writing just weird stuff. They're all psychic types. They're using confusion. Like, huh? I just can't believe he's comparing Kmart to a whole mall with multiple stores. Yeah, I don't understand it either. I mean, it's just strange stuff from people. Does anyone know why girls don't text back on Tinder? Because they're not interested? I'm just saying that because I hear a lot of complaints from women talking about how much they hate men. Yeah, well, see, that goes back to that thing of how it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. You have chicks that complain about men approaching them, like they don't like the attention they get from men. But then you also have men telling you to approach chicks and like purposely annoy them by doing what they say they don't like. So just damned if you do, damned if you don't. Attention seekers, but they matched with me. Yeah, dude, it's like, did you not see the video I did 2 weeks ago? Where you had the lady saying I could come to her country and have intercourse with her, and then she was like ignoring me for the whole week. It's like they do that. They lead you on, and then nothing comes out of it. Also, they have lots of options. I don't even know why anybody just, dude. You can have as much of a intimate dialogue or thing with a chick, and she'll just destroy it because she doesn't care. When you have so many options, them sitting there and actually being committed to one or showing, some kind of consistency with their interest, you have a higher chance to find a four leaf clover. Many many options. That's why I named the video that. It's like who the hell can get anybody interested in them when they have this many people trying to talk to them? But again, people, they don't like them being criticized in ways that are accurate. That's why they have to come up with all this other stuff. You probably don't have a license. You probably didn't go to the club. The mall has been dead since 2014, even though people were going in there all the way up until the pandemic started. Well, my friend said I had a better like I was my congresswoman announced she's not going to run for reelection, He said, "I have a better chance of running for her seat and winning than of getting, like a date or a woman that actually, like something happens with beyond a bunch of stupid stuff on the computer." And I believe him. I think I would have a easier time winning that seat as a no name first time ever running person than this other thing, with these chicks. It's just it wouldn't be as confusing and people wouldn't be as picky. I hope they are gone. That clown was just stupid, writing the same nonsense as many people have done before. Well, you just have to keep in mind that most of them can't actually articulate valid points, so they have to get caught up on all this other stuff. Clown was probably still here though, mad because he called because he called him out. I mean, hey, look, if somebody wants to have a different opinion, that's fine. But it's like when you start getting caught up on, I don't think you have a license, and what's the other one? I bet you're very young. It's like, dude, just have a normal discussion. Like, who talks that way? Told you the creepiest group of guys to talk to are people to talk to are the romance people. When I talk about the news, people actually are speaking to me about the news. Well, every VC in that server has at least one jerk in it except one. I don't think I'm gonna join though because people are nuts. I'll let them talk to each other for the next 8 minutes. And then I'll go to my destination. All right, let me see what else is here. Uh, we called them out. Yeah, because I mean, when you've dealt with these people before, you know all the things they're gonna say. It's just sad that like grown men actually write that stuff to other human beings. Because like I said on that World Without Heroes 2 stream, I could really picture that whatever that guy's name was being like a little kid just writing weird stuff. It's like that's a grown man. That's a man that's a decade or so removed from being the same age as my dad. Like it's really scary that they're that old talking that way. I'd say everything they say, there's like a video for we got the your age invalidates your opinion. Which ironically enough, I blocked somebody on that video because they were like, I thought he was this age. And it was like two comments speculating how old I was. Like, dude, it's not the point of the damn video. So that's what I thought was like really funny. And again, the person I got rid of is just like everybody else like that, writes that weird stuff. You never seen them before, or if you have, it was like a year ago or something. Just they don't matter. Oh, they love getting attention. I told you back when I used to respond to their comments, they would act. They you would never see them on the stream, but now they know I don't write anything back to them ever. But they need to know how disrespectful it is to suggest your age and validate your opinions. Well, that's why I gave the contrast of how, I didn't go and say, "Oh, you're 30 something, so get out of here, old man, and take your cane with you." It's like, no, he was making some points, so I just destroyed them. I didn't care how old he was. I remember I had this one joke that I could go to a preschool and like sit some little kids down and explain to them like how something is wrong with a bunch of chicks that do this type of stuff to people, and they'll give more articulate, thought out, nuanced answers than grown people. Like I could really picture some kindergartners being like, they want you to spend a bunch of money for a woman that doesn't like you to maybe like you. That's stupid. They're more inclined to understand this stuff than like grown adults. I remember one time I told my brother about how you have people online, right, that want you to do anything and everything to appeal to women, but then they also want you to just accept women for the way they are. And I was like, so imagine having a group of people who you have to like fit into specific boxes for in terms of wealth and the way you look and whatever they call status to be, but then that person doesn't have to do anything to appeal to you other than their, being female. And he said, that does not sound appealing at all. It's true. No, who finds that appealing? Like who's like, man, I can't wait to accept a woman for how she looks no matter what, and then get nitpicked to death over every single little thing about me. Imagine how nuts I would look if I said, "Oh man, there was this woman. She was so nice. She looked very good as well, but she didn't have a license, so I couldn't do it." Like what? Magumi, you think if you found some woman that was really that you really enjoyed being around, that you thought was hot or physically attractive, whatever, you would go, well, I'm gonna disqualify her because she doesn't have a car. It's like, God, it's like they don't understand their own ridiculousness. Of course, it doesn't sound appealing, not a damn chance. I'm just saying that like literal children understand something is wrong with like this the way this thing is set up, and I find that hilarious. I really want to do that, like actually take this to like a kindergarten class and be like, all right, let me explain to you this role, because I would find a way to say it in such a I guess articulate manner. Like I wouldn't bring up intercourse or anything, but I would say to get a lady to like you, people think that if you're a boy or a male or a guy, you have to do all of this stuff for her, but she has to do nothing for you. And I just don't see how that's fair. I bet they'd be able to come up with some better answers than the stuff people on here come up with. You're not attractive no more if you don't have a license. Dude, that dingbat with the baby didn't even have a house or like anywhere to live. She was like, and she still had a boyfriend. So it's like, what do you? Oh my God, men accept chicks no matter what, and then you got to jump through a million hoops for one of them to like you. It's really crazy. Remember, those would tell you to be their friend or accept the friendship thing in the hopes of maybe letting you into a romantic endeavor. Yeah, they want you to play this long game, and like no woman would ever be expected to do that. No, like I've never seen anybody tell them there will one day in some eventual decade be a man that likes you back, and he'll have been worth the however many thousands of days you had to wait for that. Never. By the way, when that guy was with the lady, the one that deleted all his stuff with her in it after she broke up with him or he broke up or whatever, he actually did make a video called "You Were Worth the Wait." It's like, you think I'm about to sit here and say that about some lady that took, after it took like 10 years for them to like me back for who I was? Hell no. I can get one tomorrow and I would still say it took too long because I'm consistent. I would still say people want you to do way too much for way too little. The juice is not worth the squeeze. Don't accept, dude. I told you, not a single one have I ever done that with. When they say the second they say I want to be friends, my interest in talking to them goes off a cliff because they want you to give them what they want while not giving you what you want, and that's not fair. That's not friendship. That's slavery. Well, I said in the video, I might as well go pick some cotton. We need to repeal the Emancipation Proclamation and just put some chains around my arms and have me just do what all the chicks say do. Bow down to the triangle. Definitely what I'd say too. Hell no. Why don't you talk to chicks anymore? They tell too many lies. Why do you think I recorded the thing with the one that was saying all the like explicits? Because I knew that there was a chance that she would go back on the stuff she said during that call. It's not because I'm psychic. It's not because I'm negative. It's because I've seen them do that before. Told you the one that was in the women's many many options video. I had screenshots of her saying she wanted to whoop me, bend me over, all kind of explicit stuff, just for her to probably talk the same way to another 10 or so guys, and then start trying to sound platonic once she met some guy in real life. Because this is what they do. They just waste people's time. And then, no consequence because the triangle. You get blamed for why they did something else. Like it's your fault that she met a man in real life. You're supposed to use your powers to like extend through the screen and stop that from happening. That's what happens when you always blame the same side for everything. You get answers that aren't logical. It's just people saying whatever to, avoid actually looking at this stuff objectively. Anyways, I gotta go. I'll do another stream on Friday, not Friday, on Saturday, and then I'll probably put up the video tonight or tomorrow. So thanks. Have a good day. I'm sorry we had an insane person show up for a little bit, but that's how every stream is. There's always some new villain coming out of the shadows to make their presence known. So have a good day.